I walked across the snowstorm that had blanketed everything. I fainted after gradually losing strength due to cold and tiredness. Hi, I'm Vicky. If you want to know more about my story, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to support me. Thank you, guys. I am Vicky Castle. I was born into the city's wealthiest and most prominent family. Because of my parents' dominance and wealth, I was able to attend the most elite and prestigious school in the city. However, the people here are still distinct from me. It's obvious that I am of much higher status than them. Is there anything they have that rivals mine? Every boy fell for me with every step I took. And I'm the only person in the school who drives a fancy limousine to school. Some girls at school were so envious of my beauty that they formed an anti-fan group against me, believing I was the reason boys ignored them. How pitiful. With that naive mind, they will never be able to get to where I am now. My beauty and heritage set me apart from the others. Of course, I understand that a star's fate is loneliness. And I'm okay with that. That year was my 18th birthday, and I thought with everything I had, I'd be able to pass the age of 18 easier than all my peers. But I was too naive. After the magnificent birthday party, my father's words shocked me.
Vicky, this birthday I'll give you a gift that will amaze you.
Really, Dad? What is that?
You've always been a talented and gorgeous girl, and I believe the best gift for you is marrying a billionaire.
But Dad, I'm only 18 years old.
It's fine, my child. This is beneficial not just for you, but also for us. Marrying that man will help us gain authority in the adjacent city. He's now a 30-year-old man who's quite mature.
What about my happiness? I don't want to marry someone I don't love. I have even never met this man in my life.
Oh, don't be so obstinate, Vicky. You have no right to make a decision. He will soon come to see you, and you will be happy to marry such a wealthy and powerful man.
Too scared and helpless, I ran away, hid in my room, and cried, even though my 18th birthday party hadn't ended yet. Outside, my father ordered me.
You will not be permitted to leave your room until he arrives to meet you. So be nice and stay in your room.
After hearing that, I was dumbfounded. It turned out that my parents had just seen me as a pawn to enhance their dominance for so long. I can no longer accept my fate as a chess piece to be manipulated. And who knows what that billionaire, 12 years my senior, will do to me. Thinking about this, I had an epiphany. What does it mean to live in luxury if my life feels like a prison? I made the decision to run away from this house. I will seek freedom in places where no one knows who I am. After that idea, I took out the money that I had been saving in the closet for a while. Then I made a rope out of all my blankets and some garments long enough for me to climb down from my room's window. The bodyguards didn't notice me sneaking over the fence and escaping because the snowstorm was too intense. I ran to the nearest train station and decided to begin in a completely unknown and featureless town. They will never be able to find me here. I got on the train and left. On the train, I saw a family, and they all seemed to be having a good time. Back then, I had always felt empty. It turns out that this is what I lack: family warmth. All I had known from childhood were the lessons given by my strict parents. They raised me to be an almost perfect girl and taught me to play the piano. They well-educated me for all the anticipated goal of making me a better deal for them to trade for power and money. That makes me really sad to think about it. When I arrived in that town, I stepped out of the train and was nearly knocked down by the snowstorm's wind. I staggered, holding onto the train side, and tried to walk. This village is not like the opulent city where I previously resided. Furthermore, it is now late at night, so the streets are quiet. I walked by myself during a freezing night while the snowfall raged. But because I was accustomed to living a life in luxury, my physique was frail. Drained by hunger and cold, I collapsed on the sidewalk. And the last thing I remembered before passing out was a bright sign with the words, "Sanguine." I woke up and found myself lying covered in a blanket next to a fireplace. My coat had been taken off and hung on a rack. While I was scared, I heard a voice.
Welcome back to the land of the living?
You? Who are you? What have you done to me? Why was my jacket taken off?
What have I done for you? In the middle of this blizzard night, you wandered around and fell right in front of my door. If I hadn't gone out to take out the trash, you would definitely have been buried by the snow today. As for the coat, it's covered in snow. If you don't take it off, you'll have big problems. By the way, I'm Willie. You can just call me Will.
Realizing that the only thing taken off was my jacket, I felt much safer and more comfortable talking to him. Thank you. You can call me Vicky.
But you don't look like someone from this town.
How do you know? Did you search through my stuff?
You shouldn't doubt your savior like that. I know, because in this small town, no one has luxurious clothes like you're wearing. So where are you really from, miss?
I felt it wouldn't be a problem to tell this guy my story, so then I told Willie my whole story. Willie then made a suggestion to me, and ever since then, I've been happy with it because I agreed with him that day.
Since you have nowhere to go right now, how about you stay here with me? I do need an assistant.
I considered and hesitated when Willie made that request since I didn't think a high-born girl like me would have to work as a cafe waitress. However, I gave in when I realized that I would have nowhere to go. And if I have to go back to marry that billionaire, that will be the end of me. Then Willie revealed to me that this cafe was constructed one day many years ago by his parents. He was the only one who survived a car accident that claimed his family's lives. Since then, his grandmother has raised him, and now he is the owner of the cafe shop. My life has changed since then. I have the independence I desire, even if I don't live in the lavish mansion or have security watching over me all the time. As the best student at the school, Willie has talked to the principal about getting me to join school here. The students here are different from the people who lived in luxury at my previous school. They constantly greet me with a smile and warmth. In earlier days, I detested everyone and always wanted to be alone. But now, everyone here has completely changed my mind. I was surrounded by friends who were eager to assist me in integrating, and several of them even proactively joined me for lunch. I have never felt anything like this before. But freedom comes at a very high cost. I now have to work as a waitress at a cafe. Willie gave me very detailed instructions, yet I was still prone to making blunders. I have never had to bow my head and apologize to others this much in the previous 18 years. However, Willie is a genuinely nice guy. Every time we clean up at the end of the day, he hands me the easy task of tallying the cash on the counter while he bustles about, scrubbing and rearranging the chairs and tables. Like every night, I decided to go help Willie after I had completed counting all the money at the counter. He had recently scrubbed the floor, so it was really slick. Unintentionally, I slipped and fell, but Willie came over in lightning fast time and grabbed me. For a brief moment, we were locked in that position when our eyes met. Then Willie awkwardly let go of me and turned away to ask,
Oh, are you okay?
I had never seen Willie look like that before. I responded, chuckling, since I thought he was very cute. It's okay, I'm fine. After a few confused moments, I decided to tell Willie what I had been thinking about for a long time. Hey Will, Have you ever thought about expanding the scale of the cafe? I mean, your parents would be happy to see their legacy continued and developed.
I've thought about it before, but I don't have any idea.
You helped me a lot back then. Now I will help you. Since childhood, I have been the daughter of a tycoon family, so I also have some abilities. Furthermore, I have been playing the piano for 10 years, so I think we will start with me performing the piano for customers. Willie agreed and we used the shop's savings to buy a piano. After that, I started dressing up every weekend in the gorgeous attire of the past, but I've changed into a humble girl who wants to spread music to everyone instead of an arrogant Miss Vicky. With time, our cafe gained recognition, generated more income, and allowed Will and me to expand the business by hiring more employees. But I didn't expect that the cafe's reputation would be so strong that it would reach my parents. They have been looking for me since then to complete the wedding. That day, I was standing in the cafe looking through the glass window and watching the flow of people passing by when I suddenly saw a series of black cars approaching, and a group of bodyguards quickly surrounded the cafe, followed by my parents. Everyone in the restaurant was extremely frightened. Willie immediately appeared next to me.
What's going on, V?
Those are my parents. I ran away from them in the past. Today, I am done running. I will face them.
Alright, so let's go together.
Willie and I walked out and faced my parents. My father immediately stepped forward and looked at me with angry eyes.
Vicky! How dare you!
Why not? I'm also human. I have the right to decide my life, and you made no sense while forcing me to marry that man.
And this is your decision? Leave us? Leave wealth and power to work as a waitress? Look how pathetic you are now. You're nothing without me. Now be a good girl, follow me home, and complete the wedding. Your fiancé is waiting.
My father turned his back and waved. Then a series of bodyguards rushed forward. But very quickly, Willie used his foot to kick a bunch of snow into their faces and make them fall to the ground. I am nothing? Dad, please look again. Me and Will are doing very well developing this cafe. Even when I am a waitress, it's still better than being a pawn in someone's hands and being controlled all my life. My father still stood still without turning around. My mother, who had been standing silently next to him, came closer to me, lifted her hand to brush my hair, and said, "Little one, maybe we were wrong to think that those things were good for you. I already know what you are doing here. If this is your decision, try to do it well, and don't forget to come visit your mom, okay?" Mom placed a kiss on my forehead and left. Before leaving, my dad turned around and said to me,
I hope you don't regret it and run home crying to me. You know what the consequences will be.
When my parents left, Willie and I sighed a breath of relief. After that, we celebrated the cafe's modest reopening ceremony and became co-owners. As per Willie's desires, the cafe is now called The Miracle of V. He remarked that I was the one who changed this place, even if he was the heir. My mother even pays me a visit occasionally to hear my music. Me and Will together run the cafe since then. You might think that this is the end of the story, but there are still many challenges waiting for Will and me. If you want to know what happens, please support us.
See you soon!